Hi everyone, welcome back to Notes in the Margins. I'm Dr. Karen McGregor, and on my channel, I take what I'm learning, what I'm reading, and I translate it into the context of adult learners, higher education, and student success. And in this series, we've been going through Will Guidara's book, Unreasonable Hospitality, and we've reached the end of this series. And so today I'm going to close the book and put it back on the bookshelf. And I hope what you've seen over these episodes wasn't that I was trying to summarize the book. I really try to translate it and take the ideas that resonated with me and ask, what does this look like for higher education and student success and leadership? Now it's time for my official Notes in the Margin review. Readability and listenability. I give this 5 out of 5 stars for this. I think this book is simply enjoyable. Will is an incredible storyteller. Whether you're reading this book or listening to the audiobook, his enthusiasm is contagious. His stories move quickly and his pacing is great. And it's one of those books that's easy to recommend because people might actually finish it. The next criteria I rank is credibility, and I'd like to make an important distinction. I'm going to give this 3.5 out of 5 stars because while this isn't a research book, and it's definitely not trying to be, it's much closer to a memoir or a leadership narrative built around lived experience that come from Will's journey at 11 Madison Park. For me, it doesn't make them less valuable. It just means that when I read it, I have to read it differently. But I appreciate the stories, and I like to ask, how does this align with what we know from research and practice in higher education? Adult learner and higher education transferability. Again, I'm giving it 3.5 out of 5 stars. This one surprised me. At first glance, you might think a book about fine dining wouldn't have much to say about higher education. But if you watch the series, I hope you've seen what I saw. The connections are absolutely there. I just think that they take a little bit more work. You got to kind of work for these translations and kind of really think about this belonging, the standards of care, the systems and culture and leadership, and the student experience. So you want to know, would I recommend it? And I say absolutely, especially if you're willing to read it with a highlighter and ask, how does this apply to my work? If you work in higher education, don't read it looking for restaurant advice. Read it looking for ideas about people, because at the end of the day, that's what this book is really about. So there we have it, people. Before we move on to the next book, I want to thank you for joining me on this journey. One of my favorite things about reading is that the best books don't just give us answers, they give us ideas and new questions to ask. This series helped me articulate ideas that I've been carrying around for years, what it really means to build cultures where students don't have to get lucky to feel supported. If you've enjoyed this series, I'd love to hear what book we should be reading together next. So until then, keep reading, keep reflection, and don't forget to leave a few notes in the margins. Bye now.